Hey guys, welcome back to DIY with me. It's been a crazy day. I've been interviewing people for Chats in the Blog Cabin, and so I need to get my creative juices flowing, and I really need to get something done today as far as DIY goes. So I have a really quick and easy craft that you can make using vintage hankies or just handkerchiefs. If you don't have vintage, I bought these on Amazon, but you can always go to your local thrift store and source these out, or you can go anywhere else. Basically, you can do it one of two ways. You can either use the styrofoam um, ring wreath form, or you can go the really vintage route and use a um, embroidery hoop. Now, I started out with the vintage, the wreath form, but I think I'm going to use my embroidery hoop only because I think it's going to be easier for me to work with. I also have a secret weapon, and that are these hair ties. These little clear rubber bands are my secret weapon. Only because I said that twice now, a couple of times now. Um, my hands are not working the greatest, and sometimes it's hard for me to tie stuff. So instead, I am going to use these to tie on the wreath. Now, I will tell you this, and this is something really cool, is when you're using this embroidery hoop, you can actually take it off, or you can use two pieces. You can make it into two pieces when you take them off, and if you take them off and use the two pieces, you have another hoop for another craft. So that's a frugal tip. But I have a ton of these because I bought a bunch back when I was doing other stuff. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use the whole wreath because I feel like it just gives a little bit of um, character when you have this up here and you know that's something that you've reused. But if you're needing money or you're low on money and you need to save a little bit, then by all means buy one of these and just separate them out so you have two wreath forms. Now, I went ahead and did it on this one, but I noticed it was really not going my way. So I'm going to go ahead and take the handkerchief off this one and put this to the side because I actually have a craft where I can use that. So it's not like I'm using one and then not using it at all. I'm definitely going to be reusing it. Now, if you notice, the handkerchiefs come in all different colors. I have a craft that I'm going to do with handkerchiefs that we found in my mom's house. But they come in all different colors and all different patterns. You want to stagger your colors so they're not all the same colors are coming up. But what you're going to do, you can do one of two ways. You can take them and you can put them across like this. I'm going to put them under. And you can tie them off like this and not use the rubber bands. And I'll show you how it ties off. But to me, I don't think it looks as great when it's tied. I mean, it does. It kind of looks cute, but you have that piece sticking up that you're going to have to hide in the back. So that's what it looks like tied. But then, let me undo this one real quick. But then there's another option that you can do. And that is to use your handy dandy little rubber bands and just pull it through, double it, and pull it through. See, it lays a lot flatter and a lot nicer, and it's because it's the clear rubber band, it blends into. If you don't like and you feel really bad that the rubber bands are showing and you feel like people could see them, then you can always come back with ribbon and do that. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And you're just going to continue and filling up the wreath until it's completely full. Putting them in, kind of working it out so it looks just like this. You can get them to overlap each other a little bit. I'm going to flip mine this way. Maybe with it leaning up against something, you won't see it as much. That's not as pretty. You can always come back and redo, but this one was not as pretty as the way I did that one, the first one. And I thought I could do it laying down, but I'm maneuvering this around too much. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to redo that one because it's not laying. Actually, I'm just going to put it to the side right now. Get another piece. And since I'm right-handed, I like to have everything to my right hand. And you're just going to come, fold it over, and double it. Now, if you don't like working with the small rubber bands and you want to work with the big rubber bands, you can buy big rubber bands. I just bought these hair ties because not only will we use these, one for our Shih Tzu for her hair, because yes, Shih Tzus have hair that like are untamable. We will also use it for our own hair as well. So you're just going to come, half it, and you can decide the color scheme. Like if you didn't like this purple, you think that's just too loud and you want to do all like muted colors, 100%, you can do the muted colors. I'm going to take my ring off because that seems to be bothering me a little bit. And pull it to, take it, put it upside down if you have to, hold it in your hand. I know you're probably like, and you're going to loop. And now if you notice that these DIYs are a little bit different than the ones I was doing for the DIY show, only because I'm actually doing DIYs while you guys are with you. So these are the first time I'm actually making some of these DIYs. I've watched tons of videos, I've looked at tons of things, and I'm like, I want to do all this stuff and I want to show you how easy it is to do. But for some reason, my hands don't want to work. That's why it's important to have a backup plan. Like I said, you could have easily tied it, or you're doing like I'm doing and you use the rubber bands. You see how we're getting that cool look right here? Some of them are shorter than some others, but they're really cool. You hold it up. So we're four in. I'm going to try this one again now, because I feel like I've got a lot of flowers and very little anything else. What you're doing is you're just taking it, looping it, and looping it again. And it still came out kind of big, but that's okay. I think we can tighten it. Here we go. So we're got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rubber bands, 5 handkerchiefs on it already. If you want, you could leave it like this and make it boho chic and just have it hanging down, or you can add more. And I'm just going to cover up this whole wreath with this. Okay, that one was inside out, so I definitely want to make sure that when I put them up, the right side is going to be put up. And all you're doing is just pulling it through, kind of folding it over a little bit, and working on the rubber band. And my fingers are really struggling with them, and hoping and praying the rubber band does not break. Ever been popped by a rubber band? Oh my gosh, that is like the worst. We used to have a poodle when we were growing up. He was a stray. He came to our house. The whole story behind this was he came to our house, and then somebody said it was their dog, and he ran away from them again. He kept running away. We took him up to Massachusetts for my grandmother, thinking, oh, she wants companion. But at the time, he was really scruffy, really like, literally was like, you could tell he had not been taken care of. And my grandma's like, I don't want that dog. That's an ugly dog. I don't want that dog. The dog's name was Peanuts, by the way. And so that one does not want to move me. And so anyway, so long story short, we ended up keeping the dog. And the following year, we went back up to Massachusetts with the dog, and my grandmother was like, oh, I want him now. And my mom's like, well, you can't have him. He's ours. Because we had gotten him groomed. He was the only dog I know when we went to the groomers, he would get his fingernails painted. It was so cute. But the reason why I bring up Peanuts is because he used to hate rubber bands. And I'll show you this in just a second once I pull this one through. We used to have a rubber band that, when you get a rubber band, you go like this and you see it stretching. Well, he used to hate the way the noise was. So every time we'd have a rubber band and do this, he would like go after us. Well, it got to the point where we loved to tease him so bad about it that we would just do our hands like this and he would freak out. So he was a sweet dog, though. He was very sweet. He was one of the sweetest dogs we had. When I was growing up, we had him. We had a German Shepherd. German Shepherds are a piece of my heart. I love German Shepherds. And because we grew up on the North Carolina coast, we had a lot of hurricanes. So a lot of times the German Shepherd was the outside dog. So she would be brought inside when we had a hurricane. And she thought she was as big as the poodle. I mean, as small as the poodle. So when the poodle, Peanuts, and Mrs. Coyote, that's what her name was, Coyote, when she was would come inside, Coyote, Peanuts would get so like, I don't want to mess with you anymore, and he would get underneath the couch because he was a toy poodle, and Coyote would try to get underneath the couch, and she was definitely a big German Shepherd. She was a big dog, and yeah, she would get stuck, so it was really funny. But there was also a time when Coyote would get like upset with Peanuts and was like, leave me alone, dude, and she would just knock him upside the head with her paw, and it was so funny. But yeah, gotta love animals, right? And it's almost like we have the reverse now with our two dogs, Gigi and Allie. Gigi is a pit bull rescue mix that we actually fell into getting, and then Allie is a Shih Tzu who I can't imagine my life without my Allie. She's my girl. I love her to death, and she's been with us for almost 14 years, so it's been a while. Now, I'm honestly thinking I might end up not having enough. We'll see. I may end up having to go in my little stash and get just a plain white one to finish this out. But I think this is a pack of, 10 or 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Has to be 15. I may have enough, but I may not. We shall see. When you look at something and when you're doing a project, you think you've had enough. So I always say, if you can afford it, buy more than one pack, because you can always use the extras for another craft. That's the reason why when I buy embroidery or Wreath forms, I go ahead and buy more than one. I go ahead and buy the multi-pack because I know that I'm going to end up using it later, and it's cheaper in the long run. But if you can only afford one, then by all means use one. I think if I had used the styrofoam frame, I would not have needed as many of these because it was a smaller frame. So I'm getting closer. I have 4 more to do. Definitely don't think I'm going to finish it, but that's okay. I have a secret weapon. Or I should say, I don't think I'm going to finish it with this particular one, with all these handkerchiefs, but I have a secret weapon. Like I said, you could have easily tied the knot, and it would have come out okay if you tied the knot. But I just wanted to use my rubber bands. I feel like it's a little bit cleaner, the rubber bands. You could have looped them like we did the loop, but I just feel like this looks it's a cleaner version of what we're doing. And I love how, you can put this anywhere. Like if somebody is, I'm trying to think of some way that you can put these. If somebody is like a dressmaker, like a tailor, they would be really cute. If somebody likes to sew, it'd be really cute to put it in the, in like a craft room. If somebody is really into antiques, this would be great to put in an antique store to hang up. I'm going to start scouring antique stores for vintage. That's does not want to say still. Vintage linen as well. It's a great way to put out some of the stuff that maybe you might have had that was passed down to you from grandma, grandpa, you know, vintage stuff that it's been hidden in a closet and you really don't know how to work it. I think that time I got it. This one just did not want to fold for me. I have something on my finger that keeps bothering it and keeps snagging. And I just didn't want it to snag all the way. Okay, so we're down to our last one. As you can see, we're probably going to need, what, 2 to 3 more? Let's see, 2. Let's see, that's 1, 2, probably 4 more. But like I said, I have a secret weapon. It's not going to be the printed ones, but it will work anyways. I can figure out how I was doing this. You know, you get in the middle of something and you're going, how did I do that again? After you've done like multiple and you're like, okay, how did I do that again? Okay, why is it not working out this time? I swear sometimes when I do these crafts, I'm like, what? So I'm going to put this last one on. Then I'm going to pause for just a second. And you will see, because I have to rummage into my craft thing. So I'm going to pause you guys and we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Look what I have, guys. These were the actual ones that we found when we were cleaning up my mom's. They're not as colorful, but I think they'll be great as spacers to add between the colors so we have enough. So let's see. I'm going to go and I'm just going to space this out right here. And I'm going to add one there. They're not quite as long and they're not as big, but I think I have enough of these that I'll be able to use them. So what's the great thing about this is because it's a flower and because you're using handkerchiefs, it's not going to stand out that much if you're going to alternate. And those were actually easier to work with. So that one, okay, I've got one. All right. Let's go ahead and put another one here. And what I love about these also is they're different colors. So you're picking up your color scheme like you did for the other one. And I'm just going to alternate them. Because if I see that I have enough of these, and I might have an extra one of those because I have another craft in mind to create later with that and not have to buy. Like I said, these are the ones we found at my mom's. See, and it's just adding to it a little bit. And you're just alternating every other one. So it doesn't look so out of place. I'm going to put these up here. I had them closed, but I'm going to put some up here so I can grab them out. And there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just picking whatever color comes up next. I had to dig in my craft cabinet for them. That's why I paused the video. And because, like I said, they're smaller, I'm having to add a little bit more because they're not quite as wide. They're easier to work with, honestly, but they're not quite as long and as wide. But it has the pretty embroidery on it. So it adds a little touch of some. See how it's adding to the wreath and it's making it fuller? Plus it's adding to the what's the word I'm looking for? The style of the wreath, the design of the wreath. And these are basically, like I said, found items. I did get the package of the first package of handkerchiefs on Amazon because I wanted to try this technique. But I also had these, and this I already had. Oops. That one's not going to be tied right. And so you're just going through and you're just filling them up. And you're twisting and you're using your rubber band twice. And then you're pulling them out. Okay, guys. So I ran out of the ones here. But that's okay because, guys, look. I'm going to put myself as a solo right now. Because, look. This actually can be, if you want to go back and add like every third one, there's enough up here. It's just this looks really close together. I think what I might do, hold on. I think I might just change this particular one right here and flip them over. I think I might just take that one off and push this one over here. And it'll still look like it's formed that way. Because it seems like it was like a white. and then a white, and then a color, and then not a color. So I'm just going to come back real quick and add this one in and put it up. So this one's this way in between the two colors. Now, if you want to add ribbon to it, you absolutely can. I kind of like it with no ribbon. So you have it this way. I don't know if you can see it right now. I'm going to put it myself back up here again. So you have it this way. This is actually not standing up. But you see how it's like the whites are all together? Like it's just made it a little bit fuller of a wreath. You can, once you hang it up, you can just play with the placement of everything. But if you notice up top here, you can't really see where the top is. You see it, it's right here. Where is it at? I just saw it. Oh, it's right here. But if you're hanging the wreath up on a wreath hanger, then you're not going to notice it because you can always play with this and pull it over and just kind of hang it up. There you go. A vintage doily wreath that is so cute, so unique. You can give this as a gift for somebody for, this would be great if you have a housewarming party or look, I'm going to put it up. I'm going to make myself a frame. There you go. If you have a housewarming party, if you have a bridal shower to go to, and maybe you have some of grandma's vintage handkerchiefs or just somebody who's really into fashion, this would be great to put on their door and all the stuff. And it took us maybe 20 minutes to make this. Embroidery hoop or a styrofoam wreath form, handkerchiefs, and my secret weapon, the clear rubber bands. Because as you can see, if you look up close, you really can't see the rubber bands, can you? They're right there, but you really can't see them. Only when I point them out because they blend in. So guys, cute wreath for your door for spring, for summer, for fall. You could change it out in different colors. You can always use bandanas if you don't have handkerchiefs. You can just about use anything. You can use fat quarters, which are like little scrap pieces of fabric that are about the same size as these. Until next time, guys. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave some thumbs up if you are if you like this content, and leave a comment too. Bye.